Dear Prime Minister, I'm more than happy to be here today in Skopje. This is my first visit to the region. This is my first official visit outside the European Union, and I wanted to mark the first visit and dedicate the first visit to North Macedonia, who has been doing already a lot to become a member, and who has been delivering a historic agreement, the Prespa agreement. First of all, I want to send my best wishes for the new year for the nation of North Macedonia. I also want to congratulate the Prime Minister for the appointment. His appointment marks a very important step and also a very important sign that North Macedonia is a reliable partner for the EU, and the reforms that are put in place are working as they were designed. Now, when it comes to the European Union integration of the Western Balkans, I have good news. It will continue, and we will work even harder to make it a reality. And we need to speed up and dynamise the process, while we also make it more credible for all of us, for the region, but also for our member states. For the new Commission, enlargement is not a taboo. For the new Commission, enlargement is a priority. The Geopolitical Commission cannot work without bigger leverage, bigger influence in the region, and I'm going to be devoting my work to achieve that. We have to work on the basis of the assessment that North Macedonia and Albania is ready to start the accession negotiations. There is no change in that, and we will stick to our original assessment, which is that we need to start accession negotiations with these two countries. It means also that we should have a positive decision by the Council to open accession negotiations before the Zagreb summit of this year, which is going to take place in May. That is why over the coming months we will have a very busy schedule together with the Prime Minister and with other leaders, because we will have to put new proposals on the table, a new package, if you will, that will bring forward the enlargement process. The new approach will have to be credible, will have to be more predictable, it will have to be more political, and it will have to be more objective and more dynamic. These are the principles on which we are basing our new proposals, and these principles should work both for this region but also for our member states. We will also come forward to propose the opening of the accession negotiations once again, still this spring. But apart from that, we will also come forward with an economic development plan for the region. At the Zagreb summit, we hope that we can get the support of the member states to intensify our presence in the region and help to close the gap in the economic development between you and us, and help to bring our daily lives much closer, much faster together. I need to praise also and acknowledge the progress North Macedonia has done so far. North Macedonia has been steady in the reforms, thanks to a series of governments who have been devoting their efforts to this, not only this government, but the preceding government and the government before that. There is national consensus, and I hope that this national consensus will last long, and this will help the ever closer, ever greater challenge once the accession negotiations have opened. We discussed with the Prime Minister that once the accession negotiations have been opened, the challenge is going to be even higher for North Macedonia to keep up the momentum and to deliver all the reforms that are necessary to become an EU member state. So it is ever more important to have national consensus around the EU accession. Therefore, we need the government and all the other institutions to implement the EU reforms, to continue on this path, and in doing so, priority should be given to the new law on the Public Prosecutor's Office. We hope to get this done still by this Parliament. It would be a very important sign to give to our member states. After the elections, I hope that there will be a very clear and reliable partner in the new government, and I already offer my support and openness to work with whoever is going to be in government. The Commission does not intend to interfere in the internal politics of any state, let alone accession countries, and we are open to work with everybody who is ready to do the same with us. We think it is key to continue the implementation of the Prespa agreement, whatever the next government is going to be. And we equally think that the bilateral agreement with Bulgaria is also a priority, which needs to continue. And one last word, maybe just some good news at the end, that I have asked the European Parliament to release the so-called performance reward of 50 million euros for North Macedonia, given the achievement, given the performance the country has made in using up the European funds. This is now with the European Parliament, and I hope to get green light, as it is the European Parliament's responsibility to authorize the payment, to get the green light very shortly within the coming days, so that you can already plan to invest with this money. Thank you.
Ви благодарам, почитувани ви представници на медиумите, колеги новинари, поверите со прашање. Лепа, повери само микрофонот.
Очекување на новата методологија, доколку не биде усогласена во март или мај, дали ќе имаме зелено светло од Франција за отпочнување на паралелен процес, паралелни преговори на кои што инсистира Европската комисија?
Well, we're working not only with North Macedonia and Albania to succeed, but of course with all the member states. I'm reaching out to all member states, especially to those who have had concerns in October and who have not been able to come around at that time and agree. Last week I have visited Paris, where I had very intensive and yet very positive discussions with the French authorities, and I see a way to manage all the challenges that we face, and I'm hopeful that we will be able to meet all the conditions of all the different actors. But of course, this is a coordinated effort that we all have to make. Our member states, also this region. But I'm very hopeful this time that we will have a positive decision on both.
Поверите со прашање. Ардијан, микрофонот.
Адријан Керими од Алсатем телевизија, имам прашање за еврокомисарот. Во месец февруари се очекува објавување на вонеден извештај на Европска комисија за Северна Македонија. Ке можете да ни соопштите детали што содржува тој извештај и на која поглавја ќе се фокусира? Благодарам.
It might be too soon to tell you what the report will contain. We have not started working on it. We are now focusing on putting the new package in place. Of course, we will look very carefully the latest developments, especially when it comes to the reforms. Of course, in that one item is going to be looked at, I think, with utmost care and importance, and that is the Public Prosecutor's Office.
Продолжаваме со прашање. Повели Фуркан.
Добро, комесарот. Во вашата прва средба со тогашниот премиер господинот Заев побаравте да се убрзаат реформите во судството. Вие сте денеска овде како представник на Европската комисија, но сепак ќе мора да ве прашам затоа што доаѓате од Унгарија. Бегството на нашиот поранешен премиер во Груевски во Унгарија на некој начин ја разниша довербата на граѓаните во судството. Дали мислите дека неговото евентуално враќање би ја вратила довербата и би придонела да граѓаните повторно веруваат во ова судство и на некој начин тоа да биде дел од тие реформи кои што вие ги барате? И од вашето прво искуство во Скопје, како ви изгледаат нашите политичари? Дали може овде да се одбива судски процес без мешање на политиката? Затоа што поради тоа нашиот поранешен премиер доби азил во Унгарија.
Well, I failed to grasp the question. It was more of a statement, if I'm right. Yes, please, if you could repeat it in English. All of it, if you will. But I really failed to get the question.
Па да. Ќе продолжам на македонски. Can you understand me?
In English, yes.
No, I think you. So you. Во вашиот прв состанок со господинот Заев, вие побаравте да се убрзаат реформите во судството. Главниот удар врз нашето судство е бегството на Груевски, поради кое што граѓаните не веруваат веќе во ова судство. Дали мислите дека евентуалното негово враќање би придонело тие реформи да се убрзаат и граѓаните да ја вратат довербата, пошто нели затоа се реформите? И that's my first question. I will repeat my second one.
I don't think that the Commission has set this target, that the purpose of the judicial reform in North Macedonia is to get back the once Prime Minister from an EU member state. I have never seen this in any of our papers. What I can tell you is that what you have been hearing from the Commission, even before I became Commissioner, which is that it is a national competence of the member states to grant asylum. The EU or the Commission has very little to say on this issue. So best is if you address your question to the Hungarian authorities.
And the second one, from your experience with our politicians, can we have a normal, judicial process without the interference of our politicians from your today's experience with our authorities?
Yes, of course, it's a must.
Ова беше и последно прашање за денешната пресконференција. Ви благодарам за присуството, тука и крајот.
Седете, колеги.